Yeah. In the concrete jungle, nowhere to hide. On every corner, Big Brother's eyes. Hear the sound of war all through the streets. See the face of fear on everyone you meet. They come on the streets, they speak their lies. We are the people, they won't take us alive. Tribulation, torture, murder, genocide, mechanics of death, all through the sky. Uh-oh. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. My damn theme song ended early. My theme song video ended early. Well, welcome to Miles Culture Plate. I'm your host, Mild Kevin Miles. Ladies and gentlemen, feds and degenerates, cuckolds of all ages. I'm back. It has been 6 months since I've done a show. So yeah, let's applaud. Sorry if that blew your eardrums out, but yes, it has been. It has been 6 months since I've done a show, and I'm sure there's a lot of questions of where I've been and why. I kind of gave a good goodbye on my last live stream. I've been living life. I've been, doing my thing. Taking care of my hobbies. I've been digging into just living life. I took a very important couple of steps in my adult responsibilities in my life. I made a commitment to a lovely woman. I took an amazing vacation. And even though, one of my biggest hobbies is to go to amusement parks, and even though all the amusement parks around me have been closed, and I really haven't been able to do that since I last did a live stream, I haven't really been able to do that very much because all the theme parks around me are closed for the season. They're going to be opening back up soon, by the way. Uh, I did start another channel where I'm doing sort of a Midwest amusement park reviews. I don't expect you folks to follow it. That's not my deal. This is more going to be my comedy channel. The same old show you're used to. But here's the thing. Part of the reason I stepped away from doing Rumble and YouTube, and I guess Twitch, which I was in the middle of trying to redo my Twitch channel here. Stream manager, because I think I'm still set to be. Yeah, I'm set to be. Edit stream info. I'm not streaming Diablo. There we go. Talk shows and podcasts. There we go. Get rid of the Diablo 4 Blizzard tag. Yep. Sorry. Yeah, when my theme song ended, I was in the middle of editing my stream over there on Twitch. So yeah, what is going on? I want to to bring the culture plate back, but I want to make it more about actual culture and less about politics. And I'm going to be honest, part of the reason that I left for 6 months is this was becoming, I don't want to say a hassle, because you folks are awesome. My audience out there, you are all awesome people. By the way, shout out to Cookie. Shut up, I can cook. Saying the white man is lost. Good seeing you. Good seeing you. Let's do the old. Let's give you some careless whisper out there. All right. Anyway, so yeah, the one of the things that was kind of getting stressful about it was the time it took me to prepare a show and do research and figure out the things I wanted to talk about. Uh, One of my very first live streams, I criticized a bunch of content creators for the amount of effort and time that they put into their craft and for taking huge amounts of time off from doing their live streams. And I kind of, I was like, yeah, you're not going to see me doing that. Well, let me adjust that a little bit, because you did see me do that. I just took 6 months off. I just took 6 months off. And so, yeah, I'm a little bit of a hypocrite. But let me also say that I don't get paid to do this. I've made less than $700 in 3 years doing this. And that's not a concern of mine. I do this as a hobby. I do this for fun. I do this for community. I do this, you know, I do this because I'd rather do this than go sit in a bar and chit chat to people at bars, sit and drink a bunch of alcohol. So I don't do this for the money, but it's got to be worth the time. And the amount of time it took me to sandwich between my full-time career, um, which, by the way, my full-time career over the last 6 months has taken more and more time because I've had to put extra time into my career, uh, due to some of my life choices. I had to make more money. Period. I have too many hobbies, too many expensive hobbies, as you can see behind me, to where I absolutely had to make more money. So by the time I would work 50, 60 hours a week, the amount of time then I had left for family, for my hobbies, and to pick up the Bible and read, something I haven't done since I was a child. So yeah, between church, my hobbies, my family, my real life, and not to mention just the simple fact that I was neglecting my home and my vehicle, much needed maintenance that needed done. I couldn't. Something had to give. Something had to give. And doing this show twice a week for an hour, and essentially doing an hour of prep, was getting to be an extra 4 hours a week I didn't have. And then I was chasing the Rumble Creator Program. So I was trying to get 30 hours a month. I was also trying to get Rumble exclusives, and I was trying to get time on my gaming channel where I would stream for hours and hours at a time to get up my watch hours. I was chasing my own tail, and something had to give. I simply did not have time to do this anymore. And I had to redirect my focus at the people I love, at the job that makes me money, and at the responsibilities that I took on as an adult human male. Now, what does that mean for the future of this channel? Why am I back? Why am I here now? Well, a few of you might have noticed that, like I said, I've been producing content again lately. Sort of centered around the amusement parks, and it kind of it brought back my creative side, and I really miss the culture plate. And I started noticing that I did start having free time again on Wednesdays. Saturdays, maybe not so much yet. Well, we'll have to talk about that. We'll have to see what's coming up. But right now, this is going to be a once a week thing. It may be a 2 hour show, it may be longer, but I'm back. And this is going to be more about the absurdity of culture. What I always wanted this show to be, the absurdity of culture, and less about politics, less about Donald Trump, because that's the other half of the equation here. Why I took so much time off, because yeah, there were things I could talk about, there was content I could talk about, but honestly, this rift among conservatives and all the infighting, you know, all the stuff about, people not liking Candace Owens or not liking Tucker Carlson or not liking Mark Levin. There's only so much of the fucking bullshit conservative infighting that I could cover on a weekly basis and give a shit. Like it at some point I'm just going to be like, okay, do any of you folks have anything to say that you haven't said before? You're just saying the same shit in a different way. And I don't trust any of you. But, I really have lost a lot of respect for the MAGA movement as well. And frankly, I just don't want to be involved in politics anymore. I don't want to get involved in anything going on at the national political level, because if you've been following this show, you know that I personally don't believe conspiracy music. Hey, how's it going, Clay? White man has lost nothing. Yeah. I personally don't believe that. I think most of national politics is a distraction anyway. Now, does that mean I approve or disapprove of the bombing of Iran? Does that mean I approve or disapprove the arrest of the president of Venezuela? Does that mean I approve or disapprove of Trump's rhetoric this past week of going into Cuba and taking over Cuba and making it a U.S. territory? Look, I'm not for imperialism. I'm going to say that right now. I'm not for imperialism. But let me be very clear to you far leftists out there. I'm I can pretty much guarantee that voting for Kamala Harris or Joe Biden, we would still have the imperialism, and we would still have half the things you folks hate about Donald Trump as well. Uh, Part of the unfortunate thing I think about all these politics, there's music says politics is all in misinformation. Yeah, a lot of it's a distraction. It's a distraction from what really matters. And granted, so is everything you're going to see on my show from here on out. Because again, I want to be more comedic. I want to be more street level, society level. You know, we're still going to talk a little bit about politics, but not not presidential politics and not geopolitical breakdowns. So what is going on in the news today? Lots of things are going on in the news today. Let's get into it. I have no news stories. No news stories. Where did that? I swear, half of my. Okay, here we go. Here's one that kind of sprung up here locally in the Midwest, and something we've kind of covered before. We talk every once in a while about the situation with fat people on airplanes. And we have this gentleman who's a hairdresser who recently lost 100 pounds. And so he's down to 300. Look, I can empathize with losing 100 pounds. I've lost 100 pounds myself recently. But you're still at 300 and now you're feeling discriminated against. Let's go to this guy.
So I am at the Kansas City airport for my 6:30, 7 a.m. flight, checking my bags, right? And I was just checking in my bag at the priority lane because I fly priority. I fly all the time. All
big spender. He's got all this money.
The time, right? A-list preferred, priority with everything else. Now, I understand Southwest changed their policy where, you know, if they feel like you might be big enough to need an extra seat, that they can ask you to pay for one.
Oh, shit. So let me be clear. Look, I primarily have flown Southwest over the past several years. I'm not sure I'm going to do that anymore because Southwest recently changed some of their seating policies. What he's complaining about here being one of them. But also they changed it. Southwest was one of the last airlines to let you pick your seat upon boarding. Other airlines made you pick your seat upon booking your ticket, and you had an assigned seat. And oftentimes, you and your family members couldn't sit together because by the time it loaded one seat, other seats on the plane had been taken or filled, and it was harder. Whereas if you're traveling together previously on Southwest, you could just, get in line together or walk down the aisle together. And if there are two seats next to each other that are open, you can sit next to each other. I'm not a fan of the new seating policy. I think I could see times when I would be a fan of that kind of policy, but like I said, Southwest was the only airline not doing it. So, like, I could fly Delta, or I could fly American, or I could fly an endless number of other airlines if I wanted to pick my own seat. I would rather pick my seat as I'm getting on the plane. Anyway, so but this gentleman here is like, yeah, Southwest changed their policy where they can ask you to buy another seat. Let's hear the rest of his story.
But I have never run into that ever in my life.
Never run into it. Oh, my Lord. All right.
And just now, the lady at the counter had to go get her supervisor because they felt that I was too big to get on the plane without paying for two seats when I fly weekly and sit in my seat just fine. And the lady had the audacity to say, I'm just
It's not about how comfortable you are. It's about how comfortable your neighbors are. And look, I can I be a little rude for a second? Can I be a little rude for a second? bro, you've got your nails painted, you got weird tattoos, you got bars through your chest, your fucking clavicle here, you got bars through your fucking eyebrow ridge. Like, fat or not, please buy a second seat.
Concerned about the people sitting next to you for their comfortability. Well, what about my comfortability with the conversation having in front of all of these people about how you think I'm too big to fly?
Well, unfortunately, being having an uncomfortable conversation about the business you're doing is your choice. You can take your uncomfortable ass down the airport to the next fucking ticket counter. I mean, yeah, sure, your tickets might be non-refundable, but also maybe get travel insurance. I don't know what to tell you, man. Yeah, there are assholes that work for all of these airlines. And at any time they could fucking tell you, "Hey, no, you're not flying," for a number of reasons. Now, I don't know where you were flying or how much it cost, but you have A-list preferred. Hmm. Maybe you should have bought a first class ticket.
When keep in mind, I know I'm a
Business
hefty
class.
guy, but I've lost over 60 pounds since Christmas. I
Over
fit in the
60
seat
pounds.
just fine.
Huh. The news article I read earlier said he was 400 and went down to 300, so apparently not. Yes, exactly. Exactly. I'm not sure that her asking him to buy another seat has everything to do with his weight. I think it might just be because she knows that somebody's not going to want to sit next to this tattooed and pierced and neck tattooed. You know, who knows what this guy's looking at on his phone while they're flying. But the news article I read said that he was flagged in the system. That when she brought up his boarding pass, he was flagged in the system. Like the system had said, based on a previous flight, to ask him to buy another seat.
Everyone is comfortable. We're good, right? I
Everyone is
have never
comfortable.
run into this level of just pure audacity.
Well, it's the audacity is assuming someone else is comfortable.
In my life.
The audacity is assuming someone else is fine. You know, you may think, and look, it's nothing against fat people. I like fat people. I live near this airport he's talking about. Like not close, but if I was going to fly, I'd have to drive all the way to this airport. So yeah, I'm used to seeing fat people, right? I'm friends with a lot of fat people. I like a lot of fat people. I love a few fat people. But let's face it, if an airline says, hey, there's something you got to do, you got to do it if you want to fly. Maybe not put the responsibility of your choices onto an airline or onto other passengers. Understand, it's not discrimination, it's a choice.
And they even had the nerve to say that this is a return flight. And so they don't understand why this conversation hasn't had before. Why do you have to get your supervisor if this is a return flight? I obviously didn't have to pay for an extra seat here or on any of the other flights that I've had all year long. So the fact that they are willing to do this to a customer who flies this much is insane. Southwest, you need to start doing better. So I
Start doing better. Start doing better. That's the guy who paid for the A-list. I mean, welcome to 2026, folks. To where, being making stupid decisions about health is no longer a disability. Making stupid decisions about health is no longer a protected status. Look, I vape. I vape. Does that mean I get to vape on a plane? Is it discrimination because someone asked me not to vape on a plane? Oh, well, yeah, your vaping affects someone else's lungs. Well, okay. Having to sit next to someone who's look, he says he's 300 pounds. I was 300 pounds at my biggest. I also knew that I was fat on an airplane, and I would, I would sit like that. And if I was asked to buy another seat, I would. The guy's delusional. And if he's really lost 65 pounds or 100 pounds or whatever, he says 65 in that clip. So let's go with what he said, not what the news said. If he's really lost 65 pounds, congratulations. Keep up the good work. Maybe this whole problem you're having with Southwest Airlines will take care of itself. Maybe it wouldn't be a problem. Give it a couple months. See how it goes. Keep up whatever you're doing. Keep counting calories. Keep active. I hope it's not fucking Ozempic. But, you know, my gut feeling tells me that it might be Ozempic. All right, let's see what this is all about. I have no idea what this is. Let's see what this is all about. Some people blocking an aisle of a grocery store in protest. Is this fucking PETA? Is this PETA or is this Stop Oil? Let's see. Animal liberation.
I asked her to excuse me. We're not leaving. I asked her to excuse me.
And she said no. So now
Let
you
go
go
of
around
me,
the other way.
please.
So she said no. So you go around the
I
other
don't
way.
care. You don't control my passage anywhere, okay? She doesn't belong to me. She doesn't own me. Excuse me, I've asked you several
What
times.
you're doing at the moment,
I've asked you several times.
you're assaulting someone, sir. You're
I've
assaulting
asked you
someone.
several times, please. I've asked you nicely.
You've not been provoked.
You're assaulting someone, sir. You're assaulting someone, sir. Yeah. Yeah, maybe don't try to run her over with the damn cart. But at the same time, like, okay, well, yeah, she's blocking my passage, and we'll call that kidnapping. Like, if this is assault, if moving a cart against a person's leg is assault, then yeah, you're kidnapping. I don't know. I'm just teasing.
Yes, and you can go around and
I've
go
asked her several times nicely.
She said no.
She doesn't have the right to say no.
She don't have a right to say no. Well, she does.
I want to get past here.
You can go around, madam. This.
No, I'm not going round. You move.
No.
Oh shit! You got the old lady involved. Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't be sitting there after a face of shopping cart at full speed. I mean, full speed. Honestly, if they're fucking PETA vegans, right? Here's what you do. You see that pork counter right behind the old lady here? You see the pork section? Just go get that. Just kind of fucking, oops, I just drizzled some on you. And yeah, that might be assault, but.
I'll just knock you out the way with my trolley then.
You'll do what you must do, madam, but we're here to make a protest and make a point, okay?
Make a protest to make a point. All right. Oh, look at this. TikTok at vegan fairy 4. Don't harass this person, but oh man, classic. Fucking classic. You gotta love it. God, I love a username like vegan fairy 4. All right, so we were just talking a little bit about weight loss a minute ago. And one of the things I used to love to do on this show is make fun of Lizzo. Lizzo's got a new music video out. And we've been kind of talking a little bit about some of the progress that Lizzo has been making with her weight loss. And again, that's not 90% sure it's Ozempic. Like, she posted selfies in the gym and videos of herself in the gym, but I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I think it's Ozempic. I'm not saying it is Ozempic, but I think it's definitely a GLP-1 helping her. And look, if you need help with a GLP-1, I don't like them. I think the side effects are fucked up. I think not just the side effects, I think the mechanism by which the drug works is a little fucked up. But if that's what it takes, kind of like a nicotine patch to stop smoking. If you're smoking 3 packs a day and a nicotine patch kind of helps change your behavior just a little bit to get you over that initial hump of your addiction, hey, do what you got to do. So, yeah, I don't like GLP-1s. I think not just the side effects, but the way the drug is supposed to work is fucked up, and it's not the way human bodies are supposed to work. And I think if people just put their mind and willpower into making it happen, they wouldn't need it. But I say that again, I'm vaping. I was a food addict. Still am. I still am a food addict. But anyway, so let's look into Lizzo. Lizzo, new video celebrating her weight loss. So this is Lizzo in front, grind dancing against a visual AI representation of her former self. And look, she's still not a tiny girl, but she's definitely lost a whole person's worth of weight. So shout out to Lizzo. She does look, I mean, in the face, she looks a lot better. But who knows? Shout out, shout out. The one of the biggest stories on the internet this week has been the trial of Afro Man. We covered on this show, oh God, about 2 years ago, we covered the raid of Afro Man's house and Afro Man making music videos about the sheriff's department. And there was a lawsuit, and the jury's out for deliberation as we speak. There's a lawsuit. Well, first, Afro Man sued the sheriff's department, and I believe that lawsuit was dismissed. I could be wrong. Let me ask AI here. Shit. Let me ask AI just to be on the safe side. What happened with Afro Man's lawsuit? Nope. Don't want to do that. Bum. Okay. Do. Yes, in October 2023, a judge tossed the Wait, what? Hang on. Okay, so he never filed a formal lawsuit on his own. Okay, I thought he sued them and it was dismissed. Okay, yes, he filed a counterclaim and a judge blocked it in December 2023. Okay, there we go. So he's the defendant, and the plaintiffs are these members of the sheriff's department who claim that in his songs where he was, hey, cheers and welcome, Rusty Rivers. Good seeing you. Good having you around. Let's do let's do some Windows XP. And let me give a shit, I forgot to let me give conspiracy music a Jurassic Park here.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Sorry, I didn't give you the sound clip earlier there, conspiracy music. Yeah, I hope he wins. Yeah, I hope he wins too. But yeah, apparently, he made a bunch of, derogatory videos, songs, wrote a bunch of songs, parody songs. He's a humorist, right? He makes comedy music. Like all of his songs are meant to be comedy and parody, even ones about his real life and about things that have happened. And all of these songs that he's made over a dozen now about these members of the sheriff's department. And we're going to be playing a couple of them on the show today. Well, the sheriff's department didn't take too kindly to that and claim that some of the things he said in these songs are lies and defamation. And therefore, they're suing him for defamation. And there have been some funny clips come out in the last 2 days of the trial. And we're going to go to some of those now. Here we go.
So you're claiming that is the defamation statement is that he said he had sex with your wife?
Yes.
Okay. And that's painted you in a false light?
It's caused tremendous pain in my life.
I'll get to that.
Okay, but pain isn't defamation. Again, are we still okay? So is the sheriff's department hiring these sub 80 IQ people, like we know some police departments are prone to doing?
You have to go through false light first. So does it paint you in a false light?
Yes, that my wife is cheating on me with Mr. Foreman.
Okay, well, first off, you aren't your wife. So if there's a statement being made about your wife, that's not being made about you. That's being made about your wife. What does that have to do with you and whether or not he's lying about you? But let's continue because this gets a whole lot better in the next 10 seconds.
But we all know that's not true, correct?
I don't know.
What? Come again? You don't know whether or not Afro Man is fucking your wife? Let's play that again.
Tremendous pain. And
the defamation statement is that he said he had sex with your wife?
Yes.
Okay. And that's painted you in a false light?
It's caused tremendous pain in my life.
I'll get to that. We have to go through false light first. So does it paint you in a false light?
Yes, that my wife is cheating on me with Mr. Foreman.
But we all know that's not true, correct?
I don't know.
Wait, you don't know if your wife's cheating on you or not?
You want to go there?
No, I just want to ask that question because you said we don't know. I just
been with that woman since middle school.
I know.
I would hope she wouldn't. But you know what? Once somebody puts it out there for their fun and entertainment, it's out there. And it's a problem.
So it's something we cannot verify the truth of?
Can we verify it?
Is it a thing that can be verified, true or false?
Ask your client.
That doesn't sound like a yes. That doesn't sound like a yes. It sounds like he's not so sure about that. It sounds like he's not so sure about that.
Randy Wall.
So let's hear this song. Let's hear this song about his wife.
Randy Walters is the son of a bitch. Ooh, yeah, that's why I fucked his wife and got filthy rich.
Oh, he made money off his wife. Yeah.
My dough. Stop stealing my dough. Stop disconnecting my video. Fix my dough. Stop stealing my dough. Stop disconnecting.
I mean, this is just crazy.
My video. Fix my dough. Stop stealing my dough.
So throughout the whole saga of this trial, Afro Man has been wearing this American flag getup with the glasses and the tie and the suit. I fucking love it. I know it's against flag code to wear the flag like that, but man, I fucking love the Patriots.
My video. Fix my dough. Stop stealing my dough. Stop disconnecting my video.
All right, so there you have it. There's Afro Man and what was his name again? Randy Walters. Yeah, Randy Walters and Randy Walters' wife. Whether or not Randy Walters' wife, it was actually fucking Afro Man and making him some money. That's not the only cop that had to suffer through humiliation in court over Afro Man's music. Let's watch this. This lovely lady here have to hear the music that Afro Man made about her and her life.
You really don't know her. I noticed her voice is a few octaves lower.
He got an actress that looks like her.
She's not too fine, but she's might put out something that's bigger than mine. Come on, Lisa.
Oh my God, she's crying in court.
She raided my house. She disconnected my camera. Then she went down on my spouse.
Went down on my spouse.
What I'm gonna do? Y'all keep on laughing. She's gonna eat your wife's pussy.
All right. We'll stop that right there because he's getting a little graphic. But look, we have the right to mock our police force. This is a First Amendment expression. This is satire. And yes, it involves very real things. Yes, they really broke into his house, stole his money, disconnected his cameras, and did something with the lemon pound cake. That he can prove with the video he did have. You improperly busted into his house, disconnected his cameras, stole his money and his pound cake. Or at least was fucking with his pound cake, then disconnected the cameras, and then miraculously his pound cake was gone when he got back. That he can prove. But all the joking about fucking people's wives, obvious satire. Like, you can mix satire and reality without it being defamation. The audience to some degree would have to be able to take you seriously. And I don't know that anyone takes the because I got high guy. I don't know that anyone takes the show me them titties guy to be a valid news source on the personal romantic lives of police officers. But yeah, she's crying because she's being mocked by her community. When she goes out to she goes on to let me skip forward a little bit. See if okay. So this wasn't the clip, but there's another clip where they ask her flat out, is the what's going on, and she talks about how people in the community believe that she's doing these things and call her Lickum Lisa in public. Oh, here it is.
Came to town.
Oh no, that's the music video. I'm not going to play that. All right. But yeah, the Afroman trial has been absolutely bonkers, and I'm here for it. The whole internet's here for it. I ran into some people on Instagram talking about it today. And like I said, it was something we covered on the show a couple years back when all this went down. But yeah. A bunch of cops got their butt hurt. Hey, Singlant, buddy, good seeing you. Good seeing you. Thank you. I'm glad to be back. I wish I had a more structured show to put together today. These were just a few things I grabbed that were relevant. Like I said, I'm not super into doing a bunch of political stuff. But yeah, good to see you too, friend.
You're goddamn right.
Good having you by. Thank you for coming. All right, let's do. Got a couple of things left here. I might need to take a quick break because I need to use the restroom. Let's get into this Cam Higbee clip where he caught people doing bribes for ballots. And this was also covered by James O'Keefe. There's currently like a 30-something minute video over on O'Keefe's channels and X. I advise people to go check it out. Some of O'Keefe's stuff's a little long for this. But yeah, so let's go ahead and see what Cam Higbee's got going on. I'm going to bring it up on my phone. I'm going to bring this live stream up on my phone while I go use the restroom real quick and let you folks watch the next 2 minutes. I'll try to be back shortly after. This might play twice, but anyway, let's watch this and see these people doing a bribery for ballots scheme here.
I came across another individual petitioning for signatures. He insisted he wasn't paying anybody, but it would turn out he's not being entirely honest.
Are you guys doing petition signatures for cigarettes? No? Oh, okay. Do you know where that is? Oh, okay. Is it voter registration? No? What is it? What is it?
Just petitions, but not for cigarettes. They just doing it for free.
Oh, really? Okay. What are the petitions? What are the petitions?
I don't even know what they're talking about.
This person conveniently suggests that he doesn't even know what the petitions are for and that he's not paying people to sign them. They're just doing it for free. But that can't be true because I caught this exact same individual the very next day in the exact same spot with a group of petitioners paying people to sign these same ballot initiatives.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you one. What's that for? They're gonna pay you? How much? What's that for?
That there is another California ballot initiative petition. Getting enough signatures on this petition will put a law directly on the ballot and into the hands of the people to vote for. It completely bypasses both the governor and the legislature. Signing it effectively acts as a vote to put the law on the ballot. Here we are in the exact same group of petitioners. You have one of them accepting a clipboard with a signed petition.
Okay.
And that would be a cash
Oh, look at
transfer
that.
in
Look at that.
exchange
In
for a
cash.
signature on a ballot initiative petition, which is illegal in California state.
Maybe she was his drug dealer, though. I mean, do we know? Do we know that the money was for the signature on the ballot?
I came across another individual.
It could just be. You know what? Let's get into O'Keefe's. Did I see the junkie eat the lit cigarette? No, I must have missed that part. Should I watch it again? Let me go look at O'Keefe's video just a little bit. We'll skip around O'Keefe's video for just a few minutes. I do want to get. We do have a Love Don't Judge, and there's one more story I want to do before we do. You know what? Let me go back and rewatch part of the. Okay, I'm watching for the junkie. Here, let me go ahead and just bring it up. Fuck it.
What is it? What is it?
Just petitions, but not for cigarettes. They just doing it for free.
Not for cigarettes.
Right,
They're doing it for free. Okay.
What are the petitions? What are the petitions?
I don't even know what they're talking about.
I'm looking
This
for the
person
junkie.
conveniently
Looking for the
suggests
junkie.
that
Where
he
is-
doesn't even know what the petitions are for and that he's not paying people to sign them. They're just doing it for free. But that can't be true because I caught this exact same individual the very next day.
Okay, this is
in
what.
the
See, yeah,
exact
this is where
same
I saw
spot
on my phone,
with
and
a
then when I
group
was
of
grabbing my
petitioners
headphones, I missed
paying
the next
people to
part.
sign these same ballot initiatives.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you one.
Looking for the junkie. Looking
What's
for the
that for?
junkie.
They're gonna pay you? How much? What's that for?
That there is another California ballot initiative petition. Getting enough signatures on this petition will put a law directly
didn't see the
on
junkie.
the ballot. It comes as a vote. Same
Are
group
you
of
fucking with me,
petitioners.
Rusty?
You have one of them accepting a clipboard with a signed petition.
Okay.
Them accepting law, signing it of the exact same group of petitioners. I have one of them.
And that was for in.
I'm not seeing it. Anyway, all right. So let me go over to James O'Keefe's video, and we'll skip through it just a little bit.
But what is that petition for? You know, we're getting
and entering made-up addresses.
What do I put as my address?
Yeah, just put you live on Pinocchio Lane.
Huh?
Oh.
Oh, you can use some fake.
Oh, good.
That is a federal felony. Whoever knowingly or willfully pays or offers to pay or accepts payment for registration to vote shall be fined not more than $10,000 and imprisoned not more than 5 years. And it didn't just happen once. It happened over and over and over again.
So this is the new right-wing thing, right? So we had the whole when I wasn't streaming, we had the whole Nick Shirley, which I really wanted to fucking cover that. I really considered coming back to cover that, the Nick Shirley doing the Minnesota fraud stuff, and then a bunch of people kind of jumped on that bandwagon, and people are still trying to root out Ohio and Minnesota, fraudulent daycare stuff and trying to create content around that. Shout out to everyone doing that. Don't harass the people. Don't do like Nick Shirley did and go just walking up, filming and banging on the doors. But yeah, talk to the neighbors, find out the comings and goings and whether or not there are actually, shit happening and how much money these places are taking, and, kind of expose that kind of stuff. But yeah, maybe don't go up and get in their faces and accuse them of hiding children. But yeah, shout out to the people doing that. And so now we have this where, this is the next, right wing uncovering leftist fraud. Conspiracy music. Nick found a bunch more fraud in California surrounding hospice. Yeah, I've been seeing some of that too. Yeah, California is definitely a place with some craziness. In fact, let me. Okay. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of fraud in California. You could probably spend the next 5 years uncovering fraud in California of the same type. And we touched a little bit on the feeding the families fraud scheme in Minneapolis, and the Minnesota, they had the autism centers and then now the daycares, and it's all kind of the same. Whether you want to say it's the whole Somali community or what have you. I'm not going to have an opinion on that one way or another, but what I will say is it's pretty unfortunate that it does seem to be centered around migrant communities, and that members of those communities are taking advantage of our system. And yeah, conspiracy music says it's in every state, unfortunately. I don't know about every state, at least not to the degree of a Minnesota, a California, an Ohio, or Virginia, but it is what it is. But anyway, so this is the new thing. And, now hopefully we're going to see more right wing on the street, independent journalists and activists doing this kind of thing whenever they see petitions circulating in their community, because, quite frankly, a lot of these, what used to be funded by USAID, which the fact, going back to the presidential politics and what frustrates me about presidential politics, the fact that the Doge cuts didn't become permanent upsets me. And it's a real failure of the Trump administration. Not, it's not all on Trump. It's fucking Mike Johnson and Congress as well. But the fact that we moved away from that to push the big, beautiful bill pisses me off, because a lot of the shit you're seeing here, a lot of the feeding the family, a lot of just the corruption of these far leftist organizations and these aid programs come from the top down, straight from programs like USAID. And, of course, from leftist radical organizations being funded through Soros and stuff like that as well. But it's important we figure out who these kind of people are.
Personally witnessed and covertly filmed this happening at least 28 times over the span of our investigation, and that is just in Los Angeles. One of the petitioners threatens to attack one of our journalists.
Go down the street, bro, before we move you down the street. I'll knock you out looking right at me.
Bro, why are you trying to be like that, bro? won't knock your ass out. Bitch ass nigga, don't come over here again. I'm gonna beat your ass.
In 2019,
Oh, look, he's got a
9
BLM
individuals
shirt. Oh, yeah, BLM shirt, and yet he's threatening violence. Gotta love it.
were prosecuted by the Los Angeles DA for this exact crime. They were exchanging cigarettes and cash for petition signatures, but none of it was on video, and it wasn't captured to this extent. There were 14 counts, primarily focused around payment for signatures, a violation of that California Elections Code 18603, claiming they
Now,
had,
that was
quote,
10 years
offered
ago.
or gave money or other valuable consideration to another in exchange for his or her signature. So we found it particularly ironic.
And it's fucking Skid Row. It's all homeless people. It's people who don't have a fucking pot to piss in, yet they have a signature to change California law. Fucking fuck you.
That two police officers sitting nearby weren't even aware that this was a state or federal crime. Instead, Officer Maravilla of the LAPD dismissed it as a, quote, civil lawsuit.
Yeah, I think they're getting like $2-3 from what I observe. Is that legal?
I mean, if it's nonprofit, I mean, they're signing it. It's a consensual. It's more of a civil thing, you know, like.
Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God. I was just making a joke earlier about hiring cops that are sub 80 IQ. Here you have a cop witnessing election fraud and says, oh, I think it's a lawsuit, a civil matter. Fuck. How do we have cops that can just openly watch crime happen in front of them and not give a fuck? Oh, yeah, that's right, because that's what they're paid to do nowadays.
Telling them no,
especially in
maybe if
leftist
they promise them
communities.
something and they don't get it, it would be like a civil lawsuit type thing.
The law enforcement officers sitting nearby on Skid Row every single day don't know the California laws and plead ignorance. It begs the question, what are they even doing? This is James O'Keefe.
Okay, I guess this was only a 3-minute video. But yeah, James O'Keefe has a longer video, 30 minutes of this shit over on his channel. Go check that out. All right. So now let's, while we're ignoring fraud, while we're ignoring crime, while we're ignoring all of the problems our country has, what are the leftists in New York? What is their big issue nowadays? Let's take a look here.
The New York City skyline could soon be getting a little darker if a new bill is passed in Albany. This bill would require many outdoor lights be turned off.
Oh, we got to
between
turn
10
lights off at
p.m.
11
and
p.m.
5 a.m. So this would affect residential, commercial, industrial, and municipal buildings in the state. There are some exemptions like street lights and holiday decorations, but right now the bill is just in the first stages. The New York City skyline.
So let me be a little tongue-in-cheek here. So in one of the most crime-ridden cities in the country, we want less lights on at night. Cool story, bro. All right, folks, it's that time once again. If you are new to the channel, if you happen to have not seen a single episode of Miles Culture Plate before, usually, well, some of our episodes end with this segment called Love Does Admonish. If you haven't seen the Love Does Admonish segment, there's a channel over on YouTube that we like to kind of take a peek at every once in a while. That channel's called Love Don't Judge. Shout out to the Love Don't Judge channel over on YouTube. We kind of like to watch an episode here on Miles Culture Plate and just kind of determine whether or not maybe we should be judging some of these people. What decisions do they make? And oftentimes, Love Don't Judge, the people on there say, well, you're judging me based on this one thing. And then as you look at it, it's not the one thing. It's that they built their whole lifestyle around degeneracy. And that one thing happens to be how that manifests. And therefore, internet trolls will criticize them for the one thing, but really what it winds up being is their degeneracy led to the one thing. So we here at Miles Culture Plate like to jump on in and see what's happening with people in America and around the world, really, because Love Don't Judge isn't just an American show. Let's check it out. as we jump right on in. My wife of 12 years let me marry another woman. Love, don't judge.
In our religion, we have one husband and multiple wives.
In your
Colton's
religion,
first wife and Sophie's sister wife. Well, obviously he's pretty cute.
sister wife.
He's also a cowboy, so.
Sort of.
Tammy and I both have a separate physical
Mormon
relationship
cowboy?
with Colton, but Tammy and I do not have a physical relationship with each other.
See, I'm already out. Kevin and ABQ, good to see you too, my friend. Thank you for coming back. And now that I'm back, let me give you old Taco Bell dong here. All right. Good seeing you. Yeah, no physical relationship with each other. What's the point? No, I'm just kidding.
It is one of the hard parts of living plural marriages, having your husband gone every other night, you know?
Why though? Why is it hard? I mean, look, I lived this kind of lifestyle. I didn't live what they're doing. I lived a similar kind of lifestyle for a while. And I always find it fascinating how many people's like, well, I can't share. Well, to me, it's like, I can't fathom the type of relationship. And don't get me wrong, I grew up around a lot of toxic people and around a lot of toxic relationships. And so the idea that so many people around me were so codependent with their wife or girlfriend. Hey, great liquor. Good seeing you, my friend. Cheers and welcome. Yes, smash the like button. And then let's see. Let's do the I love refrigerators here.
I love refrigerators.
Yes, I love refrigerators. All right. But anyway, it always fascinated me the number of codependent relationships I saw around me, like codependent to the level of toxicity. And so when she says, well, it's so hard having your husband gone every other day. Well, there are lots of wives, whether you're in a polygamist, polyamorous, whatever, like there are lots of wives out across America whose husband can like go out on tour to do something, or maybe goes on business trips regularly, or has regular bowling league nights with his buddies. There's lots of wives who have to deal with their husband being away from home more than a couple days a week. So this idea that this is somehow unique, I mean, it's unique because yeah, he's off dating and fucking another woman, or I guess it's more than just dating. They're married in God's eyes, but just this idea that like that's the thing that stands out in people's mind of, oh, I just couldn't share my man. I couldn't be away from my man that long. Well, most people are.
I'm Colton, and I have two wives, Tammy and Sophie. Plural marriage for us
I don't understand.
A little more specific than polygamy. Plural marriage is polygamy.
Like this guy's a cowboy, but like listen to his voice. It's very effeminate. I mean, you go, dude.
Me lived with a very religious, spiritual purpose behind it. It's more about our faith.
I met Colton 13 years ago, and we've been married for 12 years. When Colton and I got married, we both believed in plural marriage.
That shocks me a
Eventually
little
got
bit.
to the point where we felt like if we were supposed to live this way, we'd find her another wife, and then we did.
So for the first 2 years of our...
Yeah, I thought this one would have been the first one. I thought this one would have been the 12-year marriage. And, this one was the, I don't want to say hot mistress, but Kevin, that's all the estrogen in the house. Yes, definitely. Oh, yes, Kevin and ABQ. Only when the possibility of sharing a man comes up does each woman go, I can go for it every night. Yeah, because Trust me, I know that from experience.
Marriage, we lived separately. We just wanted to kind of ease into plural marriage at a comfortable pace.
Do you like having two mamas? Yeah?
Do you remember? And a lot of grandmas.
You do have a lot
A
of
lot
grandmas.
of grandmas.
How do you feel when we
that's
first
even
got
more
married? Like,
estrogen.
how did that feel coming in?
I didn't know what to expect, and you were very, very quiet.
It took a while.
Yeah, yep. I feel like the hardest part about it was kind of realizing that Tammy and I still didn't know each other very well. We didn't understand each other's personalities at that point. After moving in together, Tammy and I finally got to know each other better, and I was finally able to understand her personality better rather than just being totally clueless.
Okay.
One of the other challenges.
Why would you need to understand her personality? Now, maybe that was part of the deal breaker for you. Like in the early days, it might be hard to wrap your head around why she's okay with polygamy. And therefore, you have your reasons why you're okay with it, but you need to kind of know, you got to have those conversations. Communication's everything.
Just that I had was feeling like a wife. You make a lot of comparisons. And I kind of asked Colton, I said, do you have...
Comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of joy. See, now I'm wondering if one of the kids, obviously one of the kids is hers, and I think the other kid is the other woman's, which is interesting to me.
Certain expectations on me as a wife, and I felt like I was falling short. But he just said, no, you're perfect the way that you are.
One thing that is different about plural marriage is everybody comes with their own personality. And Tammy and Sophie are very different from each other. There were hard times between both Tammy and I, and Sophie and I, and Tammy and Sophie together. There were misunderstandings sometimes because personalities just didn't quite, mesh in the beginning. And sometimes
it's hard living with
like
other adults, even
sort of standing in the middle of a
love.
tornado and just trying to reach my hands out and just get things to stop spinning for just a moment.
There's definitely jealousies in any relationships. Things like when Colton goes on a date with Sophie, I would like to go on a date too. If I'm feeling jealous about something, then there's a need that's not getting met. I need to communicate that need, and Colton and Sophie will do their best to alleviate that.
I started this off by saying degenerate, and look, I might be fucking biased. Right? I might be fucking biased because I've lived this kind of life and I see where I personally think the line between degeneracy and healthy relationship behaviors are. And I know where I've personally crossed those boundaries in the past. So far, I'm not seeing a whole lot of degeneracy in this. Rusty River says, is this Utah? I mean, yeah, I think it might be Utah. I think these people might be Mormon. And I don't fully... Hey, we got Jillian Chaubon Mall. Okay, cool. Cheers and welcome. Good seeing you. Good seeing you. Let's give you the old Mario Kart if I can find it. There it is. Cheers and welcome. Cheers and welcome. So yeah, there are some degenerate aspects to this. It's not for everybody, and I don't advise living like this at all. Oh, there was a Utah graphic a couple minutes ago. I must have missed it. I was too focused on the people.
Officially happens maybe once or twice a month. So we'll have Colton and I go on a date. Sophie and Colton try to go on dates. And then we'll try and go on dates with all three of us.
My plural marriage is not recognized legally. Tammy is my legal wife. Sophie is more of a spiritual marriage.
This is part of my issue.
In the state of Utah, until very recently, it was actually illegal to live the way that we live. Now it's not quite illegal. It's still sort of frowned upon. So we sort of live outside of the law in that way.
Tammy and I both have separate bedrooms, and that's because we both have a separate
Yeah,
physical
boundaries.
relationship
Keep things
with
separate.
Colton, but Tammy and I do not have a physical relationship with each other. It's more of a sister relationship. Colton doesn't have his own room.
She didn't want to say
sleep
it.
with me one night and
That's
then
a
with
red
Tammy
flag.
the next night.
She wouldn't
People
say
that
sister
want to live
wives.
plural
That's a red
marriage
flag.
generally want big families. So we've always wanted children in our home, and it's been a blessing to me to have the 3
I guarantee this one's jealous. This one's jealous. She wouldn't say sister wives. This one's jealous. She acted like jealousy's a problem, but I think she's working through it. I don't think she's fully accepted it. She's accepted it because she was here first. This one's dangerous. This one is dangerous.
children that I do.
We are now co-parents in everything. We're raising our children.
And you know, but that's just it. It's more than just chores. It's help with everything. You know, like I said, it's hard to deal with other adults living in your living space. But if you have enough boundaries set up and you have systems set up and you have people willing to communicate and willing to work on their flaws, the extra people around can be a big help. Sangla says, hope it doesn't end like Big Love. Oh my God. I loved that show back in the day, but the ending was just so crammed down your throat. And I really felt like the writers of that show were trying to play on the Warren Jeffs story and really make the fundamentalist FDLs, man. They were really trying to capture a moment in the news cycle with the ending of that, and it just left a bad taste in my mouth. The idea that you're going to be married to someone for 4 years, I mean, it's a TV show. Sorry to nerd out about a TV show, but the idea that you're going to be married to someone for several years and not know that they've been lying about their age the whole time, and oh my God, I've been banging a minor. It's disgusting. Just the idea that the kind of pedophilia stuff that occurs in fundamentalist Mormon communities would enter into your mind as an HBO writer and say, oh yeah, that interests me. You know, we've written sex scenes on this show between these two characters. You know, it's disgusting. Please avoid that shit. Anyway, let's continue.
Together. We support our children in whatever their life path looks like. So whatever they choose to do, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else in the process, we want them to pursue what makes them happy.
Hey. Hi, honey.
Uh-oh. We got parents.
How are you guys faring?
Really ebbing and flowing, and we try and stay grounded in like our belief system. And sometimes it is one of the hard parts of living plural marriage is having your husband gone every other night, you know? So you don't have like the help with getting up with the children in the middle of the night. But at the same time, I know that if I really needed either of you, I could come and get you and you would come help.
Speaking of challenges, Sophie had 2 babies really, really quick. Sadie is 6. How is babies
2
with you?
So they've got 3 kids.
Yeah, finally figuring things out, but so now we're having to do IVF.
I mean, that can be one of the bigger challenges in plural marriages. One wife all
you know, Mormons, be fruitful and multiply. That was one of God's commands to the people, man. You be fruitful and multiply. And they seem to be taking that. Now again, his cowboy stuff, is that enough to pay the bills for 3 adults and 4 children?
All of a sudden pops babies out. Another wife is struggling to have babies. If you're sleeping with the same man, you would think it's got to be something. So that can be a big challenge.
Oh no. The meta mother-in-law throwing shade at your fertility. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Like, know your role, mom. Know your role. Don't throw shade at the other woman's fertility, even if you're doing it in a smiling and loving and helpful way. Yeah, you're being a bitch.
We know that it's me, so it still sucks, but it's good to know and have
Did
a
they
plan.
just censor the word sucks?
So we'll see. We try and visit on the farm as much as possible.
We're talking about polygamy and babies and and alternative lifestyles, and we're censoring the word sucks. Get with the program, Love Don't Judge.
Colton.
Farm time is family time.
Farm time is family time. What's he do on the farm? Is it? Oh, it looks like he's got some cattle. She's carrying a piss jug from the truck
I
stop.
think my favorite thing about our life.
Oh no,
is
they're
our kids.
eating Little Caesars. Ugh.
That's also probably been the hardest thing to adapt to.
That's funny.
But they're totally
They do have
worth
good
it.
crazy
Like I
bread,
do feel like having Ephraim and Isabella is what really
Wait, is
made
that
it all
fucking
feel
pineapple?
like-
I think that's fucking pineapple on that pizza. Look at that. Look at that. You see that right there? That looks like fucking pineapple on that pizza. You white people.
Having Ephraim and Isabella is what really made it all feel like complete, like we're actually a plural family.
Okay, but what
The
does he
things
do?
that I enjoy,
How
I
does he
think,
make
most
money?
about plural marriage,
Just
you know,
from
aside
cattle?
from all of the religious aspects of it, and it's a really great opportunity for a lot of personal growth because I have had to learn to live with two different personalities.
And one wife that's highly emotional.
Highly
And one that's
emotional. I called it.
I think I have a really good
called it.
relationship with Sophie. It's taken a lot of work to get here, but I think that we've worked really hard to try and understand each other and to really become sisters.
Okay, well, there we have it. Again, not as degenerate as I'd hoped it was going to be. I was hoping there'd be more drama, but they appear to be working through shit in a pretty healthy fucking way, which makes me feel like a hypocrite because, you know, I try to bring on, whenever I bring up an episode of Love Don't Judge and it's polygamy or polyamory, I try to point out where it's toxic, and that wasn't fucking toxic. Because I feel like, you know, I feel like I'm propagandizing the idea of plural relationships because I've lived it. And, you know, I'm supportive of it. And I try not to bring that to my show, right? I try not to be the guy telling other people, hey, you should live like this, because you definitely should not live like this. But fuck, man, those people, they actually have somewhat of a fucking healthy version of it for now. And at least portrayed on that video as relatively drama free. I don't know that I fully fucking buy it. Like I said, I think the fucking redhead or blonde, whatever the strawberry haired one might be a little crazy and they're just not showing it. But yeah, there's that. Anyway, we're getting to about an hour and 24 minutes here into the show, or hour and 23 minutes into the show. I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping things up. This is going to become a regular Wednesday thing. I'm not quite sure about doing a weekend show just yet because, quite frankly, my partner and I use the word partner. It's not a gay thing. It's quite simply, I don't use the word wife. There are very specific legal ramifications in the state of Kansas if you use the word wife, and I do not want to get a marriage license. I do not want to marry the government. So I do not use the word wife. But my partner and I spend our weekends together, so I do not want to commit to doing any kind of weekend activity on this channel yet. But again, if you happen to live in the Heart of America region, which, shout out, I know there are some folks in my broader audience or in my broader sphere on Rumble that do live in the Heart of America region of the country. I did start an amusement park news channel. I'm not going to promote that necessarily here, but if you know ways to find information on Rumble, you can find me pretty easily over on my new amusement park news channel. I will be doing that on Thursdays, sort of a breakdown of amusement park news. That's not important for this channel. This channel is this channel, and this channel is going to continue to be, you know, slice of life. Not necessarily politics, not necessarily news, not necessarily comedy, but just a mirror back at the degeneracy of America the way it always has been. And yeah, there might be some politics mixed in, but I'm going to be focusing less on presidential and national politics and more on just everything that goes wrong with America and how crazy we are. So until next time, folks, hit the like, hit the subscribe, all that. Follow me on all the other platforms. Share this off platform. Send me an email. Leave a comment. I mean, for God's sakes, just go down to the comment section. I know you've been chatting in the chat. All of the people that I've always loved in the chat. Thank you all for coming back today. But if you're catching this later, please, dear God, leave a comment. I would love to know if anyone else out there caught this video. Because that's why I do this. I do this because I want to grow the audience, and it would really help. That's the kind of shit that will keep me from taking another 6-month hiatus. So 6 months and I'm back, and I'm going to be back for a while. There are definitely going to be a couple of weeks where I will be on vacation on Wednesday. I will try to do something, even if I like pre-record a video and bring it up. Yeah, we won't have the love of interacting with the chat in real time, but yeah, I'll be doing some kind of fill in for my vacations. I will be taking quite a few of them over the summer. Because yeah, that's my thing now. I'm going to be doing amusement park content over on my other channel, and in order to do that, I need to visit some theme parks. Rusty River says repost. I don't typically ask people to repost because, quite frankly, my For You feed on Rumble is just clogged full of everyone else's reposts, and now I have to search for the content I'm actually looking for. I appreciate the repost feature, and I do try to repost when other creators ask to repost and I'm watching them live. But for the most part, I stopped looking at my feed because of all the reposts. So yeah, Shoban, you're asking where's the other channel? Oh my! Again, I don't want to cross the streams, so I don't want to promote that here. If you want to, you can send an email to me. I will provide you with the links to the other channel, and you can follow me over there. But again, it's Heart of America Amusement Park News. In fact, I wonder what would happen if you were to type that into YouTube right now. Da, 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 da. Yeah, literally, if you type Heart of America Amusement Park News, at least for me, my own channels came up top, even though I'm signed into a different account right now. I don't know if that's because YouTube knows my algorithm and puts me there, but yeah, you could do that. Anyway, so yeah, until next time, folks, do all the stuff below. Oh, you can turn them off in your feed, Sanglant? See, that's something I may not know about Rumble. I recently let my Rumble Premium and X Premium accounts lapse, and so now I'm just coming back. To pay for those things again. So yeah, I've been doing things the boomer way apparently. So thank you, Sanglant, and Godspeed to you as well, and Godspeed to everyone else. Folks, thank you for coming. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. I'll be back next Wednesday. Until then, don't get any on you. And if you do, rub that shit in real good. I'll catch you next time on Mild's Culture Plate. Have a lovely evening, everybody. Good night.